So I've been trying to make a video all week. Just a simple tier list, right? I thought it would be fun, it would be easy, and you know, it's so popular right now. It's not like I'll be a year late, 2 years late. But for whatever reason, everything has gone wrong. My computer is messed up. I mean, I literally earlier today, like an hour or two ago, I was trying to, my feet literally don't touch the ground. I was trying to make this video and my computer took so long to start up that I got hungry, made food, and ate. I even had time to lay down and try to take a nap before I finally noticed that it was starting back up. And even then, it took like 5 minutes. It's the most annoying thing in the world. But a couple days ago, the audio was messed up. The next day, yesterday, I think my recording software had messed up. Nothing was going right. Now, I still want to make this. I made an account for that stupid tier list maker website, so I think it could be fun. I think it's going to be like not top 10. Like a bathroom tier list should be funny and goofy. But I kind of honestly gave up on that for now, clearly. It's late in the day, I'm tired, and I kind of want to make... I need to make a video this week, or at least attempt to. And I guess this is my attempt. So, I recently switched to iPhone from Android. And I have kind of a weird history with this because going back to, 2008, 2007, 2009, I'm not exactly sure when the iPhone launched. I was super into iPhone and Apple in general. I had a Mac, I had an iPad, I got an iPad mini eventually, and a few years later, I really wanted to get an Apple Watch, but they were so expensive that I decided not to. I was kind of on my own by then, or I was near it. I was, trying to fend for myself a little bit more. So I decided against it. And eventually, a few years later, I noticed some Androids have gotten better. People that I watched online, friends, etc., were talking about how Android had kind of stepped up their game. So I decided to pick up, I believe, a Pixel. I think I got a Pixel like a year or two after they came out. It was way cheaper than an iPhone, and I kind of noticed that it was mostly very, very similar, just as good in a lot of ways. So I kind of flipped the script really, really hard, and I went from being an Apple fanboy to kind of an Apple hater. I went from watching the events, the WWC event, to making fun of Apple for being overexpensive, late on a lot of things, and having zombies or whatever as fans. And for years I did that. And then a few years later, I was still on an Android. I think by this point I had a OnePlus. I had researched super hard into OnePlus and decided for the price you pay, it is incredibly, the bang for your buck is kind of unlike anything else, or at least it was back in the day. So after extensive research, weeks of research, I picked up a OnePlus. And actually, I forgot. No, I'm sorry. I think my first Google phone, my first Android phone, was actually a 6P, the Nexus 6P, and I fell in love with that thing. I absolutely adored it. And then eventually I did end up getting the Pixel 2, Pixel 3, something, a couple of years after it came out. But there was a OnePlus, and I actually got a couple of OnePluses. So like I said, I kind of flipped the switch hard, kind of became an Apple hater. And then I gradually, I guess as I got a little older, I kind of realized the whole thing was dumb. And just in general, honestly, I have become someone who really thinks the console wars, the Apple versus Google things, is really dumb. And I think people get very angry over very dumb things like this, especially on the internet, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, actually, I haven't been on Facebook in like 6 years. So maybe not Facebook, I wouldn't know. But I guess I've kind of evolved as a person, as you might say. And I don't know, a month ago, maybe, I ended up getting an iPhone. And I kind of wanted to share my thoughts on this whole thing, share my thoughts on, I know everyone's begging to see my thoughts, my 5th video or whatever, on this non-tech channel about iPhone versus Android in general. These aren't going to be super in-depth. I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, I kind of wanted to make a video, and I think this topic is really dumb, but also needs to be talked about in a way. So the first thing I want to talk about is, I don't know, this honestly might stop the recording. Let's see. Okay, this right here, this is so stupid. This is the most ridiculous thing. The fact that I have to have a dongle just to record this video. I mean, hold on. There we go. I guess I could have got my mic over here and set like a big rig up or something. Been a huge pain, but I wanted to use this little lav mic, whatever you want to call it, and sit up over here. I don't know. I've got this space. I just moved and I got the master bedroom. Let's go. For the first time in like 5 years. So I wanted to use this space for something and not just squander it. So first things first, that. And I know Android phones are losing that, but Apple was the first, and it was dumb. And I had an old OnePlus. Is this camera angle good? I had an old OnePlus and it still had its headphone jack. And I loved that. I loved not having to have this stupid dongle. And another thing I want to say is I get so many more, especially spam texts, now that I switched over to Apple, to this iPhone, which I honestly thought that would be the last thing I'd have to worry about, because this crappy old Google, this crappy old OnePlus, I never got spam texts or spam calls. At least I hadn't in like 2 years. So that was wild to me. But honestly, and this might disappoint a lot of people, I'm not sure, I think the experience is fine. It's good. It's just as good as any other Google phone I've ever used. I've used amazing Google phones, and I've used not so amazing Google phones. Now, I don't know if I've ever owned a bad Google phone, but I have certainly used people's that were not good, that were super cheap. And I think the experience is great on both, honestly. I like Apple Music, although Spotify is definitely better. I like that they finally have widgets, which is a blessing. I think it's insane. That's one thing against Apple, is it's insane that it took them this long to get widgets. But as far as the user interface, as far as the usability, as far as the apps, I think that they are both great. And like I said, that might disappoint people, but I am the average user. I am someone who's not going to notice these tiny little things. Maybe I would back then, maybe I would 5-10 years ago, I don't know. But right now, as I am, I bought an iPhone because I wanted to use it. Because the apps that I was using, they weren't better, but they seemed to work better for what I needed. The camera, although I think that there are some Androids that have amazing cameras, TikTok, in all their wisdom and all their glory, have decided that, or I don't even know if it's TikTok, honestly. It's probably some of TikTok, and it's probably some of the developers, or not the developers, they are the developer, some of the makers of these phones. The TikTok, when you film something on TikTok with an Android phone, no matter how good it is, it's just not going to look good on TikTok. So if I had to spend a bunch of money on a new phone, and I needed a new phone because this thing was getting long in the tooth. I think my phone was like 5 years old or something. So I needed a new phone. I needed it for work because what I had to use on my Android phone, the app just did not work well with my work. And I needed it because I wanted to start doing TikTok, and I wanted to start doing YouTube, etc. more in depth. And I wasn't going to buy $1,000 Android, a Samsung, if it looked bad, and I wasn't going to buy a Pixel. What I really wanted, honestly, what I wanted was a Pixel, the new one. I can't think what it is, the 5 or the 6. But I watched several videos, MKBHD and several more, mostly him, honestly, though, saying that also, I think I watched Mr. Who's the Boss, saying that the camera just wasn't up to par, and how it's gotten slow and sluggish in such a short amount of time. So I decided to go with the iPhone 13. And some of my friends have been teasing me. I have a lot of Android friends, But I know that they're also kidding for the most part, you know. But I also know that a lot of people online actually believe the dumb, pointless garbage that they spew on Twitter and Facebook. And that's just the silliest thing. And I want to make more videos about that. I want to make more videos about Xbox versus PlayStation, about Spotify versus Apple Music, about Sony, or Sony versus, I already said that, about DC versus Marvel, and how, maybe not specifically, but maybe specifically, I don't know, about how ridiculous fandoms can be, about how toxic and pointless these conversations are. Why do you care what I have? Why do you care? If you are a person who legitimately got mad at me because my text message is blue, if you're that kind of friend, I don't think we're friends, honestly. And if we are, we're not going to be for long. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Like I said, it was impromptu, so this isn't scripted at all. Hopefully I do get that tier list video up either at the end of this week or the beginning of next. And if I have fun with that, I might end up doing tier lists every week. If you like this video and enjoy this kind of content, I also do like goofs and gaffs sometimes as well. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe as well. And I hope you all have a great day. It's so hot.